platypus, listen to us. The hunks, they know some stuff about the platypus. Platypus, platypus. So where does he go? Platypus, platypus. He's on Smugglers Cove.
Aliens and Earthlings. I'm Kutzky, the Space Pimp.
And I'm Tony Tallboy. Welcome back to another episode of Smugglers Cove.
Tonight, we'll be tackling questions by Logan Q. Quickly. Again,
As is our want.
as is our need.
Questions about family, but
You know we can't start yet.
first things first.
Baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely, baby? I don't know.
So if you care, if you don't, I'm telling you anyways, but the last episode you may have saw the blue ball not in the episode, and that's because our interface decided to work. We've been told that you just have to restart your computer if it stops working, and you might luck out and it works for you. We lucked out, and then we tried it again this evening, and we did not luck out. So,
No luck.
faithful blue ball is here again, joining us until we figure out how to get a fucking audio interface that works. So, that's what's going on with that. You can tell by the tone of my voice that
Don't try to be positive about the situation either, because you just will have none of it.
hard times call for hard measures.
And
It
harsh
is.
words.
Tis my want.
To your knee.
As a flesh-breathing human. And as this flesh-breathing human, I will get into the next segment. The Liverpool Corner.
Thank you, Mr. Liverpool.
This is where we, of course, pull an animal tarot that you, the viewer, would have already heard. Us, the hosts, do not know it yet, but when the card falls from my hand, we then know the plan.
The animal plan.
The animal plan.
Knit.
Animal Kingdom. Queendom is not really a thing, is it? Did I just make that
Depends
word
on
up?
what kind of community you're in. But I don't think so. It should be. It's something activates in several areas of my body when I hear the word queendom.
Maybe there's a queendom somewhere. Other than San Francisco.
Oh, I had to take it there.
Huh?
What?
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know much about other than that
They
song.
were progressive before the rest of us, so they do get that accolade. That wasn't a diss. That was a... Yeah, San Francisco.
Do they call it a queendom?
No, I'm just saying because, like, gay culture, my first awareness of it was San Francisco Pride Parade. Like, to see a full-fledged pride parade.
You were at San Francisco?
No, I wasn't in San Francisco. It's just pictures I'd see on the internet of a pride parade. This was
Yeah, you know
before
when
we
you're
had-
searching the internet and you just come across pictures of a San Francisco Pride Parade?
Did I ever come across them? So, I have a wife. Yeah, San Francisco. It is known for its gay community.
Yeah, I knew that.
So, I was saying Queendom.
I know, but queendom to me is like, give the women their due. The gay men can't have the queendom, you know?
Ah,
They still have a kingdom.
I see where you're going. I was speaking their lingo, but you want it to be the matriarch.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine
I'm
with,
so
by the
down
way.
with, man. Yeah, you sound right.
Yeah?
Well, apparently the moon,
Platypus?
tarot.
There's like 3 fucking cards here. So,
Alright. I'll start with platypus.
we're gonna do all 3? Tarot. I know the answer.
We gotta stick with it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Caleb, Taro. Alright, Taro.
Alright. We should keep them a secret as we go. I'm just saying, don't look at them.
Okay. I kind of saw, I don't know the bottom one. I saw a corner of the second one, but...
That's fine, I don't need to know it.
Okay.
You can keep that to yourself, kind of like your negativity. Alright, so platypus. Stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. Complaining about this or that... What?
That's pretty poignant.
You know what? Thank you very much, Blue Ball. You are a blessing. Complaining about this or that is a way to blow off steam, which can be healthy to a degree, but ultimately, it isn't very helpful. Please stop fucking complaining to me about everything, and I'll try to do the same for you. For you or anyone around you, lift yourself up no matter what your present life circumstances are. Face the day head on, and notice which thoughts you tend to put most of your attention on. That's something, anyway, that we can talk about this in the after one. Whatever the nature of those thoughts, the consequences manifest not only in your feelings, but eventually in the world around you. Power flows wherever your attention goes, bros.
There we go.
Power is life force or spirit. When your attention is focused on negative thoughts, negative experiences result. So whenever you notice yourself repeatedly attending to the negative thoughts, practice shifting your attention to thoughts of gratitude. Consider the blessings in your life. What are the things that make you happy? You may find a discrepancy between what makes you happy and what you're doing in your life right now. Pardon me. If that's the case, choose to alter one or the other. Either change your life and start doing what makes you happy, or change your thinking to enjoy what is happening in the moment. It's up to you. Associations. Sensitivity, grounded, clairsentience. That must be some clairvoyant shit. Inquisitiveness, uniqueness, adaptability, flexibility, shyness, grooming. Thank you very much. Stability, inner sight, sense of humor. This is going to age terribly just because of the grooming.
Yeah.
Well, because of, like, just the pop culture use of the word grooming is really associated with, like, you know, like, pedophilic intent, whereas, like, I'm sure they mean grooming by, like, grooming either yourself or grooming.
You went there, my man. My mind was still on... You said you kept your beard nice throughout the weeks now, instead of... Last episode, you're like, I don't care who sees me. Yeah, and so that's where I went immediately.
No, that's where you should go. I'm just saying that...
I was going to apologize to you for shitting on you for being positive about the blue ball while I was shitting on the fact that the interface didn't work. Because that kind of suggested I was negative. However, you read grooming and went straight to pedophilia, and I went straight to how nice your beard was. So...
You know what? I feel like you just need to suck it up and apologize for being negative and stop looking to poke holes in my...
I'm still saying sorry. I'm just noticing there's a bit of a yin-yang thing here going on.
And that's fine. That's balance. That's tarot.
There it is. Because I complained about the blue ball, you were inclined to go towards...
Look, I'm just saying. Holy fuck, I'm aware of the social zeitgeist at the moment, alright? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway,
even when you started to explain it, I didn't know where you were going.
Okay, well, it's just because I'm on more political pages than you, but grooming is coming up quite a bit over... Anyway.
Huh.
So Platypus talks about being thankful and gratitude and whatnot, and that's something that I've really been trying to incorporate into my life when I'm having my bad days. Is kind of like, okay, think about things that you're grateful for, or also the whole, like, either change your life or change your thinking. Kind of like when I was telling you, like, oh, okay, I don't have to be over here. I can go do this thing by myself over here. Or, like, okay, make it fun in the instance of this. You know, like, you can play around with things. And so I feel like Platypus really was prevalent to me this past weekend.
Yeah.
So, like, kudos, Mr. Platypus. I'm glad I drew that stellar platypus. I might not do it again, or I'll do it again for... Yeah, I might as well.
Yeah. Show the viewer. Dear viewer...
Because it is a good platypus.
It's a damn good platypus.
It's a nice platypus. And I could redraw it eventually to make it into a sticker. Oh, wait. Maybe I won't have to.
Hint, hint.
Hint. Hint.
Do you have viewer?
Okay, so, do you have anything to say about the platypus?
I'm sorry for shitting on you about not shitting on the blue ball with me. Or not shitting on the interface with me.
I was shitting on the interface, I was just...
You were saying about the blue ball, how the viewer would be happy that there's consistency.
Well, I just you're not...
Being positive, and I did fucking shit on you for being positive, because I was like, dude, yeah, I
appreciate you saying
so,
it.
I'm sorry.
It really didn't hurt my feelings too much, because I do like that banter of you saying something and me being like, okay, Mr. Hokey Pokey.
Yeah, I had
that's
fun.
Cooler Jets. Yeah, no, it doesn't really hurt my feelings. Like, if my feelings are truly hurt, I feel like it's quite prevalent because, you know.
I know, and yeah, I wouldn't do that to you.
No.
So, platypus, I guess, stop complaining.
Stop complaining, be grateful, and change your mindset or your surroundings.
Yeah, I mean, I will change my surroundings to...
Not this interface.
not contain said interface. So that definitely makes me think of that. I had a pretty good day today so far.
Me too, man.
It's going to continue. So
last night was pretty dope because, like, I stayed up, I did some letters, I listened to, I tried out, I don't know if I told you, I finally got Spotify Premium. So there's the Rocky told me about, shout out Rocky, she told me about this Spotify DJ, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And it's an AI DJ.
Okay.
But you can only have it with premium, and I was like, no, I don't have premium, and then she shit on me for not having premium, so I got bullied into fixing my life a little bit. So I tried out the Spotify DJ, and it's honestly pretty fucking dope. Like, I know it's just like a random mix of like what you want to listen to, but it was kind of like going through, they had, now you're going to cringe at this, I'm really happy about it, they had a synthwave cover of Pumped Up Kicks.
Was it good?
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of just so happy that it happened, but yeah, it's good. I think, you know, you could definitely have one that goes harder, but it's like still, it's a synthwave cover of Pumped Up Kicks. Like that's.
I'd probably fuck with it.
Yeah, man, it's a sick one. I'll play it on a break.
It was just more funny the way you said synthwave, as if it was like the genre to be in. That's how I perceived it. I was like, I don't know there's more to the world, and that's not what you were saying, but.
No, but it's helped me find a couple new songs, if not bands. And then I did my journal entry, as I said, like I did my journal entry last night, and the pen finished up right at the end, so then I had to write my name with your marker, and I was like, this is really quite poetic. I'm down with this. So, no. Everything worked out up until I tried to fan out the candle and knocked over the the water jug, and then immediately ran from the room. I just gathered all my things and then left and took a shower. I was just like, ooh, but I was watching it fall. I was like, if that breaks, I'm gonna die. Like, and it was just like clunk clunk, like, oh thank God. And then it was almost empty. But yeah, no, platypus, gratitude. I'm really down with it. Change your thinking and change your surroundings.
Yeah. I'm thankful I got to go skateboarding today. My homie, Justin, that was a good time. We shoveled out the skate park a little more. I get a kick out of this because when the skate park is in this kind of period where the snow is melted, but we can kind of aid the process. There's a sewer in the middle of the skate park, and it all is kind of slightly, funneling towards.
It's a great place to put all your batteries
sewer.
In case you don't know.
Dear viewer, hot tip, you don't have to wait for the hazardous waste depot at the Coliseum in your area. You can just put them down the sewer. There's perfectly shaped slots, so just depending on which battery you have.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah, I mean, it fits a AA, so what else am I supposed to assume? Science? Anyways, we take the sewer cap completely off, so it's just this gaping hole, and we just shovel snow into it, and it's just...
That's beautiful.
We were like
basically exactly what it's supposed to be used for, other than batteries.
Yeah, we like fast track it because now we're fitting these huge ass ice chunks down there. And we're sort of like playing mini golf and like putting them in. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Kind of like curling also. It was a good time.
And that's at the Moncton one.
Moncton Park. Yeah,
cool.
MSP is a shorthand for Moncton Skate Park. That's what the locals call it. So if you ever hear me saying that, that's what that is. So. Yeah, I can't complain about that. But if I did, or was, I should have stopped.
Should have fixed it, yeah.
Platypus.
Platypus.
Number 2.
Number 2, Blue Star.
You should go to the W section, Tony.
Are you serious?
I am serious, you should.
Okay.
Because you will be reading for us Wolverine.
Ooh! Neataroo!
Never read this one myself. You're a lot tougher than you think you are.
Yeah, you are. You have what it takes to deal with this turmoil. One where events have taken a different turn from what you expected. Recall those times when you have faced adversity, when you had to dig deep inside yourself to discover the internal resources and the will to continue forward. As you recall these memories, be aware of how they feel in your body. Anchor those feelings by calling them to shore up your courage and help you maintain your dignity. By dealing with this situation head on and paying attention to the nuances of the shifting energies, your inner wisdom will dictate when to move ahead and when to retreat, helping you sustain your power throughout.
Basically, we're getting a new interface, what I heard.
Yeah. By maintaining this stance, you're not only protecting yourself physically and emotionally, but also spiritually. Call upon the warrior inside, the archetype aspect of yourself that's charged with defending the internal kingdom, and the archetypal king or queen. This is one of those times when you definitely need to be assertive with others, saying no when necessary, asking for what you want, and sustaining your physical and emotional boundaries. Pull your shoulders back, lift your head up, look straight ahead, and keep a relaxed vigilance. Do your best not to complain. Platypus. Platypus. Tarot for you right there. And be a martyr about what you're involved in presently. A martyr? Do your best not to complain and be a martyr about what you're involved in presently, for it will only drag you down.
Don't be a martyr.
Do your best not to complain and be a martyr about what you're... Okay.
There we are.
I was just like, be a martyr. I was like, this is taking a very different stance.
One of these things is not like the other.
Associations. Ferocity, strength, clarity, focus, persistence, personal power. Okay, that is cunningness.
Not cunnilingus.
Not cunnilingus.
It is part of my personal power, but...
I'm not going to say anything. Well, for one thing, it's just called cunning. Just so you know, Mr. Liverpool. So that you don't have people walking around talking about how their Wolverine gives them the power to cunnilingus. Not that it's a bad thing. Like, I think that we're in a day and age now where cunnilingus is, socially encouraged, which, I'm all down for.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Anyway. I love you, Mom. Don't watch this.
That didn't make it any better.
No, I know. Perseverance, adaptability, shape-shifting, invisibility, scavenging. What? Perseverance, adaptability, shape-shifting, invisibility, scavenging, resourcefulness, survival, endurance, balance, wilderness. Invisibility doesn't seem like...
You're one hell of a warrior, I guess. You're also invisible.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man, because invisibility is kind of like the opposite of ferocity, unless you're really talking about, like, Griffin from The Invisible Man.
I don't know about this, but...
He basically becomes invisible and, like, almost immediately is like, oh, I can do a lot of things and not get in trouble for it.
Huh? Oh, Griffin is the name of the man.
Yeah, Griffin is the name of the Invisible
animal.
Man.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's where I went wrong.
So, and this is, I've talked to you about this before. If you watch Hotel Transylvania and you see them in the sweat lodge and they're talking about how they can't have the Andy Samberg's character in there, and then he starts talking about like those kinds of people, and then Frankenstein is like, what do you mean those kinds of people? And then Adam Sandler's character, I think it's Dracula. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he goes, oh no, curly-haired people, curly people, curly red-haired people. And then Griffin, the Invisible Man, goes, what do you mean, red-haired curly people? As the joke is that he's got red curly hair, but he's invisible. That's wrong. For one thing, he's a man. He's not a monster. He shouldn't be in the hotel. And another thing is that he had blonde hair. He was an albino.
Stick to the script.
Well, just come on. I know Adam Sandler's not like we're sitting down to read H.G. Wells before he writes a what do you call it? Like a screenplay.
Probably should have, yeah.
But seriously, like I get, haha, funny joke. Unless you actually read. Sorry, it just bothers me.
Discrepancies. Nobody's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a new interface. A lot tougher than you think you are. I guess to not doubt myself. In the
do you not doubt your capacity for kind of linguist either? Is what we've learned.
That I never doubt. No, proof is in the pudding. But I was thinking about last episode. Well, I told you this morning I went in and watched where I kind of talk about the book and the whole getting published and all my sentiments around that and the build up. And so I was like, did I share too much? And then I went back and I was actually quite pleased with it. So
I find too when we're recording
about that,
segments are typically like when I'm in the moment, when I'm in those situations in the show, like when we're recording. Yeah. I find that things feel like they're lasting a lot longer than what they actually are in real time. Like when we watch it back, I'll be like, this went on for so long, and then it's just like, oh, no, actually that was
okay. I see what you're saying. I wasn't maybe worried about the length. I was just worried about the coherence.
Oh, no, the only thing I was worried about was the length. I was just like, I feel like the...
Yes, okay.
So there was a lot of reiteration.
Sense. Yeah, because like I said, I felt I was losing you near the end of it, but for me, I was in the zone. But then when I thought that I was losing you, I was like, did I lose the viewer too? But I watched it. I liked it. I think you'll like it too.
Good.
So, there it is. Are we ready for number 3, Tony?
Yep.
Dun.
My pipe tastes so good this episode. I'm just...
That's what she said.
Oh. If only. Tony is lonely.
Well, I was skateboarding
right now,
and I was wearing this as I was heating up, doing some exercise. I started to smell like I would get vague whiffs of the vanilla pipe tobacco.
Really?
I wasn't complaining.
I'm with him always.
I was very platypusy about it.
Don't complain. That smoke is my friend. Go away.
It is my friend, and your friend as well. Flip to section E.
E? Humpback whale. Oh, there is a whale in here! I'm so glad.
There you go.
I was worried. E. There we go.
L. K. Gaboom.
Wapiti.
No, I think that... Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
On the card, it looked like this was a D. The bracket.
Wapeated.
Repeated.
Wapid. Wapit.
So, yeah. Wapiti.
Get out of here, Cardi B. You don't got no tarot.
Stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what. And others will treat you with with the respect that you deserve. What a fucking standing up and... Anyways. They all seem to fit together quite well.
Yeah, we'll see what the blurb has to say. Balthazar, when you will. Oh, the slings and arrows. When you're in a cycle of your life where you have to struggle to avoid feelings of defeat and despair due to the circumstances pressing on you from all sides, you need to literally lift yourself up to your grandest upright posture. Keep your eyes looking forward, ahead. Oh, keep your eyes looking straight ahead. Breathe deeply and comfortably. Pull your shoulders back, but not rigid, and plant your feet squarely on the ground. Not stiff and static, but relaxed and fluid, letting your movements be easy and graceful. Even when you're standing still, try slowing down and moving at 90% of your usual speed, keeping your attention in the present moment. Practice this for a few minutes a day and watch what happens. You'll make more of an impact on others and your environment when you're in your physical and psychic fullness, and your mood and sensitivities will shift accordingly. Standing tall, relaxed, fully present, you're much more likely to command respect from others. This will help you profoundly in any situation, but particularly during the times when maintaining your self-respect and dignity are the priorities. This isn't pride, but instead a physical expression of strength and power. Make these simple physical adjustments, and observe how your thinking and your mood changes to become more congruent with your posture and demeanor. Associations: stamina, agility, strength, unpredictability, majesty is how you typically say it.
Typically.
Respectfulness, nobility, confidence, courageousness, power, determination, sensitivity, assertiveness, vitality.
Well,
that really fits together with the, like, those really did, like, because basically the platypus was like, hey, stop being such a worrywart, get good about it. The Wolverine was like, hey, you can handle this, be fierce about it. And the elk is like, hey, you're strong, be a good posture about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the elk kind of just reiterated the Wolverine, and the platypus definitely just led naturally into the Wolverine. So,
what was last night's animal?
It was an animal that we had already. Was it not? No, it wasn't. I don't fucking know, man. Peacock. Yeah, peacock. How could I forget? The only thing I thought about that when you're reading that was that I should just throw the fucking interface through the wall. Because typically when machines give me such business like this, they do not see daylight, and I'm not going to do that. But if this was just me, that thing would be in pieces now, and I would have gotten great joy out of reciprocating the difficulties.
You want to work? I'll give you something not to work about.
Yeah. You want to be a dick? I'll be a dick too. So, maybe that's something that's coming. I don't really feel that I've encountered a situation like today or yesterday where I should have been more assertive about.
Well, we still have to go to Domino's, so the day's not out yet.
Yeah. I can play that menu like a fucking fiddle.
Well, I also don't think they're just going to roll in and make the lives really hard for these poor employees.
Listen! I'm like, what?
You know what we want? Fix our interface.
How may I help you? You couldn't. However, you could get me a pizza.
Yeah.
Perhaps, who knows? They could be selling an interface there at Domino's, and we get a 2-for-1 deal. Or
someone might try to accost us in the parking lot, and we've got to be assertive.
There we go. Getting in a fight?
I don't know. At Domino's, I was thinking more just be like, no! No! And just shame them like a bad dog until they hang their head in shame.
Alright. We'll definitely try that route first. And then if it has to come down to fists...
Well, I just have to wait until they push you down. Then you're going to beat them up for me while I go grab the pizzas.
There we go. Power bottom. Speaking of power bottoms, Logan queued quickly, but I can't get to this too quickly, can I? Would you like to be assertive about something?
I would like to be assertive in saying that when I woke up this evening and came into the studio, I had 2 things in front of me. A cup of tea and a certain package that reads, unboxing materials. Do not open before the camera is rolling. Tony. So I feel like there's something that we should open while the camera is rolling.
The camera is rolling.
So, without further ado...
Dun, 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 dun.
We have ourselves
a 2-pack.
A 2-pack of stickers.
Be actually awesome if they were evenly divided. Because he did this 2x3 as well.
Yeah.
He did that 2x3. And he did that 2x3.
Oh, okay, so you got... Okay, all I got was Smuggle Hunks.
Okay, that makes sense, because I did order 60 of the Smuggle Hunks. And...
What do you know? That turned out great, man.
That did?
I think we'll try and show the viewers.
Yeah.
You want to snap the camera so I know if I'm getting them...
I can confirm, yeah. We are good. So that is a platypus drawn by the co-host holding the platypus, Mr. Tony.
That is Tony's platypus on a sticker right there.
And we have another sticker.
Yeah.
Drawn by the other co-host.
As it is intended.
Smugglers Cove. Goat. Good. And then we have a final familiar face drawn by neither of us.
Nope. Off somewhere, just not profiting off of us at all.
Mm-hmm.
Is our resident Smuggle Hunk.
There we are. Yeah.
All are equipped with QR codes.
Uh-huh.
So when we put these around town, someone can scan and, I should say this while I'm actually on camera. Someone can scan and...
We should confirm, too, because we made these... We read that a QR code needs to be... You know what? I will tell you what I'm about to tell you, but we need to do one thing. Panda print in Nova Scotia.
Yes.
To say West Hands or East Hands?
New Minus.
Panda print has been doing our stickers for us. He's been doing a wonderful job.
Yeah.
So, get some focus here. My QR code works. Taking us to Linktree.
That's a really good looking Linktree. Whoever made that Linktree must be a very handsome man themselves.
That's exactly what I thought too. Has the indications of a handsome man.
Yeah.
So I believe his name is Chuck, and Chuck's been just a joy to work with. Emailed him. He gave us, and he's doing this promotion now. So if any of y'all need stickers for anything, hit up Panda Print. He was doing this sort of freebie thing where he would send out a few free samples to the, future consumer. That one works too.
Yeah. No.
So I approached him, said basically, I'm looking for some stickers. Gave him, originally it was this Smugglers Cove goat, so I think he sent us 15 or something like that.
It was, no, it was like...
So it was 14?
No, it was like 18 or 17.
No, it wasn't 18.
It was something.
I hate 18s.
Really?
Yeah. It's the worst number. I told you about Feng Shui, house number 18.
Oh, right.
Your child's an invalid or he's dead, so...
I don't really want to be an invalid.
Yeah, take your pick.
Emotionally sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So, Chuck... And
socially.
The awesome part, too, is he had this... After we got the free stickers, there was deals for 100 stickers for $25. And I was wondering if he would split them up and do some of our thumbnail logo and then some of our artwork, and it was a breeze. He didn't even give me any grief about that. He's like, yeah, sure. And I ordered those, I think, last Wednesday, and they're here Tuesday, so talk about turnaround time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, I guess the stuff I was going to say about the QR code's not really all that relevant. Just basically we read that 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters was the minimum you could go on a QR code.
How many of these did you get?
60 of those, 20 of each of our drawings.
I'm going to count these afterwards.
Yeah, that might make more sense. But anyways, we will have stickers. We have stickers, and you, dear viewer, if you want stickers, you know who to call. No, yeah. He did do them. Yours is square, and this is 2x3. I thought he just did them all 2x3, but look.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Because I think I kind of made yours to be square when we were editing it.
This one's not quite 2x, like, it's not a 2x2. Maybe It looks kind of square. It looks also kind of rectangular. Either way, it looks great. I love it.
Yeah, I guess I just assumed they were all rectangular.
Someone did a good job on that platypus.
Yeah. Somebody else did a good job on that platypus and do minus.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. These are, fucking banging.
Yeah, those are awesome. Those are going to look good.
Hell
and they got much more of a presence to them.
Yeah, because we had our Denmark stickers too, and
I still have some of those.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
Probably
I have the one
left.
in safety for safekeeping. Do you have any of the goats left? The original goats?
I have all the goats left.
You do?
Wait, I gave one to Shy.
Alright, because
I still need to give one to my mom.
thinking that we didn't put one in the time capsule. So, if you would...
You have a time capsule?
Well, I've been keeping a time capsule, and by that I mean I have one of our original stickers just tucked away so that we have an original piece. You know, similar to you with saving the digital files, I saved the physical files, so I guess I...
Takes up a little less space when you're doing it with stickers.
But yeah, if you'd be so kind to donate us
A goat?
one of the OG goats.
Yeah, I got it here somewhere here, my wallet. We'll find it before we go get Domino's. Shout out Domino's, we're coming for you.
Because I was just thinking this, if you still got one of the other originals, I thought about doing a giveaway on like the 100th episode of like the collection.
Mm-hmm.
So by that time we may even have more stickers. So if you wanted to donate one of the original Smuggle Hunks,
We could sign them.
we could.
Not on the back, because that's where the sticker part comes off, but we could sign the sticker.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have viewer? TVD.
Also, we have plans to go past 100 episodes. That's what you also want to know.
Yeah, and on the 100th episode.
I mean, we're already 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. We're a fifth of the way there almost. 17. This will be the 19th.
19th episode, yeah. 2 week, 52 days, 52 weeks a year. We can get to 100. Yeah. So when do we start? I don't even fucking know.
I don't know.
We started 19 episodes ago.
Yeah.
20 divided by 2 is 10, so 10 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's over 2 months.
2.5 months.
Yeah.
We're only March, so we started in January then.
Yeah, we started, if not the week before my bet.
And what was the date on that?
No, the bet started on the 14th.
Okay.
So I've been sober since the 14th.
Progress.
Yeah, man!
Self-care.
Fucking A!
Healthy living.
Wait, which one was the self-care animal? Was that the platypus? No, it wasn't the platypus, it was the elk.
The elk.
Yeah.
The elk was talking about standing strong.
I understand strong.
Oh, I see. Okay, I wasn't thinking about it in that sense. Well,
Or the platypus. Either way it works.
let's leave the world of sense and go into the world of
Nonsense?
Logan. Cue quickly. Exactly what I was getting at. Tonight's episode will be featuring questions about family. Yeah. I'm kind of excited about this one.
I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm sure I have stories.
This blurb here says, family relationships and upbringing have a significant impact on who people become as adults. True. Showing interest in someone's family demonstrates that you want to get closer to them and understand their origins. For any of y'all wishing to manipulate somebody into your good books, their good books, I don't know what this is.
So he's being really negative again. Also, if you just want to show someone that you care about them, you can get more involved in their family and be more curious about them.
Yeah, I guess I was just assuming that this was inherent, that like showing interest in someone's family demonstrates that you want to get closer to them.
Okay, but...
Of course. But
So, like, of course, yes, but for some people, like, no. You know? Like, there's definitely been instances where I've been like, why the fuck would I want to know your family? Did not work out for me. But, like, you know, like, it's one of those things that it's kind of like, okay, well, if you want to be a part of someone's life and you want to, you know, if family is important to them, then you need to kind of be like, okay, like I need to bridge a gap or find commonalities here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does give you insight into the person. It's just also, good to know. And most of my friends, I know about their family. And if the opportunity was available, I did go meet their families, because I always find it nice to get an even closer glimpse to what brought about the friend that is in my circle.
I'm trying to think about friends that I have and how many families I know.
You know Anton's family?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Fucking love his family.
I assume you know Luke's family. You've known Luke for a long time.
Luke, like...
Your friend Luke?
Yes.
You know his family?
Oh yeah, we went to church. I didn't take... It took me a bit to remember him because, like, he doesn't pop up as often, but he's a good friend from way back, so...
I guess Matt.
Yeah, I know
you know Matt's family too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely know his family. Yeah, it's just like, well, when you're, you know, more of like an adult and you're working with people, like I was just thinking, like people at my job, like I've met one of Trav's brothers, but I haven't like met his mom.
It is kind of true. As you get adult friendships, the family is when you're a kid, basically you're hanging out at some kid's mother's house or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Should we just get right to it?
Yeah, go for it.
Number 137. Who is your closest family member? My mom, my dad, my sister. Fuck. They're... Can't... You want me to single out one?
Well, I'm just... Okay, so it's like... Who's the closest family member? My family.
Well, I was assuming this encompassed also, like, extended family, because my cousins, Jen, Julie, Jill, I'm all close with them. So
okay.
I've got a pretty close family.
Yeah, no, my perspective is coming from, like, I don't have as close a family.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so for me, my mom's side, I've got she has a sister, so I've got an aunt and uncle, and they have 2 boys, and love all them. I feel that we're close, like, not hanging out every day, but I guess that's not, per se, the definition of closeness.
Close enough to whistle at them when you think you see them on the street.
Well, that was my dad's side of the family. That would have been his niece's, well, I guess my mom's side is his niece too, but his sister's children. My dad is one of 3, so he's got a brother in England, and this is kind of cool because, of course, he's in England. His brother met a girl when he was younger. He's probably in his 50s too, like my dad now, or 60s, somewhere around that age range. But when he was in his 20s, he met his honey, and she was traveling abroad, going across Canada, checking out the sights. She stopped in Fredericton, went into his sub shop, and they hit it off, and he met her in Montreal, and now he's living in England. So
that's beautiful.
Anyways, the point that I want to get to with this is they've had children. They've got 3 children: Phoebe, Heather, and Ewan. Like them all.
And they're British?
They're British, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, they're all born in the UK. I was only wondering if Phoebe was born here, and then because they did come live in Fredericton for a year, and they didn't really like it, so they moved back.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So, anyways, what I want to say is I obviously don't get to see them as much because they're in England, but my cousin Heather, she'd be the eldest, she was doing some traveling, and of course she stopped by, and my Grams was alive at the time, so she was staying with her in Fredericton. We get to visit with her fairly regularly because she was in town, and it was just seeing her and knowing that I hadn't seen her in, I don't know, probably a couple of years at that point, and because they'll try to come down for Christmases, and they did, obviously more so when my Gram was alive. We'll miss that a little bit, I guess, since she's gone now, but love you, Grams. Anyways, it was just like, there's no doubt that she's part of McDonald blood. Like, it was just such a natural fit hanging out there and talking to her and her cadence of speech and just like everything about her was like, I know you, like there was a familiarity to her that was unshakable, and I was kind of impressed because she's lived a completely different life than we have. She's grown up in the UK, done whatever the hell they do over there, and still she fit right in with the gang. So that's kind of cool part, I guess. I don't know if every family's like that. I've got friends who don't even know. Like one of my friends doesn't know his uncle. He knows he has an uncle. He's like, I've seen him twice. I'm like, that's crazy, to me, because that's not how our family rolls.
Yeah, you've got a lot closer family.
Yeah,
that's good, man. That's so good. Like, my girlfriend back in high school, like her family all lived in, like, a lot of them lived around the same area. So like nice. seeing their grandfather on like almost a daily basis, and having their cousins live across the road, and just being able, I was really quite envious because like just being able to like have a bunch of kids to get together and like grow up and have that sense of community, like that's something, it's not worth my time to kind of dwell on, but that certainly is something that I yearned for as a kid that I didn't get.
Yeah, it just kind of gave us, like, when we moved to Campbellton, we moved there because my dad's sister was there. He got a job at the church there, obviously, but part of the inclinations or inclinations to Campbellton was because Jane lived there with her kids. And so it was basically like I had 3 extra sisters. Like, we hung out all the time. They're nearby. And so I always feel blessed to have had that experience as a young guy. And so if I bring it back to this, I don't want to have to pick between my mom, my dad, and my sister, but I guess I would probably say mama. I can always talk to my mom about anything and everything, and I feel like we've both grown a lot together. That may seem like an obvious thing, but I've seen other families and it's not always that way, so I really do feel like who we've grown into as time has gone on has been just a blessing, and Lord knows I've put her through the ringer with my running away and, well, just me as a person, and still she stands by me, and it's been good. So my mom, but really my mom, dad, my sister, just straight up. So what about you?
I'd say on a daily basis probably my mom.
Definitely
we've gone through our rough patches over the years. Like, it wasn't easy when she was a teacher at the school that I went to. When you've got a rebellious phase in a very close-knit school, anyway. But no, my mom and I have grown really close over the years. My dad and I are getting a lot closer now too, which is really such a blessing. My brothers, like, I wouldn't say that I'm not close with brothers, but at the same time, like, I don't talk to my brothers all the time. But my brother Jordan is probably my closest brother. We talk a bit more about stuff, but then I have good conversations with all of them when I do have conversations with them. So yeah, I'd say my mom, but I've always been a bit of a mama's boy. So
yeah, love you, mom.
Yeah, moms are pretty great.
Moms are fucking great. Yeah, I was kind of curious about because I feel too, I could say that I've kind of grown closer to my dad as I've gotten older. I wonder if that's a natural thing or if that's just we share that in common. I
think it's more of a we share that in common because some people really are close with their fathers, like, growing up, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that, obviously, like, father figures are super important to the development of children, but, like, young men really, growing up when you're a man, you're looking for, when you're a boy, you're looking for a man to emulate. So, like, when you're, you want to have that framework to emulate and to aspire to.
Yeah. I'm only, like, not fully agreeing because that wasn't, I didn't really look for somebody to emulate, but I feel that that's true for a wide number of people. So, yeah. I mean, I guess when I saw Ali Boulala, I was like, I guess I can just dress however I want. So,
Ali Boulala?
He's a skateboarder, and he would just wear like crazy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
He had like the typical sort of court gesture shirt that had all the like frilly fluffies. I don't know, it's like common to see in Victorian characters too. It's like this weird sort of frills that go, and the cuffs are like doilies almost or something like this. And seeing him was like just opened the doors. I didn't want to dress exactly like him, but it was like, all right, he's embracing the freedom fully, so I should not be afraid to embrace said freedom. I went out and got started getting clothes I wanted, and just stopped caring. I don't know that I cared too much. I just think I didn't really think of it, and then seeing that was like, oh wait, I can do this, and then boom, I did it. Here I am, dressed fly as fuck. So thank you, Ali Boulala. Number 138. Do you have a best friend that you talk to daily?
Yeah.
Daily? Definitely weekly. I mean, I talk to you, fucking, obviously, I'm here talking to you, but...
Well, I mean, if we're talking daily, it's typically, like, my buddy Matt. I'm talking to him just about every day, if not every day.
Okay.
I've been busier lately, sorry, buddy, but, no, I'd say if there's someone that I talk to daily, it's him. And then you and I talk pretty regularly throughout the week, so...
This partly is where my mind immediately went, and Parley and I basically just keeping tabs. I guess it's probably close to daily, if it's just sometimes as simple as sending memes back and forth, and not necessarily getting into in-depth discussions, but that door's always open.
Well, I think too is it's not bad to just send memes back and forth. That's one of the things. Like I am kind of a grumpy old man when it comes to people are always on their phones, but sometimes there's not much to say, especially in our society where there's a lot of work. What sending a meme is kind of like just like, here's an emotion. Yeah. Send it out like, I enjoyed this, I hope you enjoy this, and memes, like something as simple as memes or posts, you can just give to other people.
It's just connecting. I guess that's even simplifying it more, but I kind of view it as just like reaching out and touching, like just make sure it's there kind of thing. And yeah, it does.
I wasn't. I looked down and I was like, "There's tobacco on my leg." I knew you were going to notice that. As soon as I was in motion, it's like, no, that's not what it was. Filth. Nobody. It was just tobacco on my leg.
Connection. I mean, sometimes it's not reciprocated, but do try to connect, folks.
Yeah.
So shout out Parley. Justin's another one of my super good friends, but me and him, we'll send some messages back and forth on social media, but we're not really like have a deep discussion about something over text, or like to phone call him and just like talk to him about something. I don't think either of us burden each other with our emotional entanglements too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Justin and I do saw him twice this week. We skate together, so we got that in common. If skating every day was a possibility, we probably would do just that. So, number 139. What kind of relationship do you have with your parents? Strong one. If it's just a one-word answer.
Yeah, my parents, I'd say it's pretty decent. It's a lot more open now than it was. It's I'm not like texting my parents and letting them know all about my day or whatever. Like, it's just not how I roll. But
because I basically call my mom each day and shoot the shit.
I don't shoot the shit. Like, I'll come home from work and I'll see my dad and I'll say hi and tell him about my day, and we have little discussions and whatnot. But I'd say we have a good relationship, but it's not like we're not buddy with either my parents. I'm not really buddy, but I will talk to, like, when the opportunity presents itself, I talk to them. When they talk
Yeah.
to me, we talk, I should say. It's not like this me giving them my attention as in like a gift.
Yeah.
But, if I see them, I'll talk to them and chit-chat. And
Yeah, well, it felt like a warm... As I met your dad, and it didn't feel like he was this character that didn't, reciprocate any type of friendship. Like, there was a sense of camaraderie amongst the house, and it, didn't seem anything.
Yeah, it's not cold.
No. It was one of my friend's moms, when I go over, I'll be talking to her, and I'll just get lost in conversation. My friend's like, come on, man, like, what are you doing? Stop talking to my mom. I'm like, your mom's sweet, and I'd enjoy talking to your mom, and we will get to the skate park. It's not going anywhere. Just give me a moment to fucking shoot the shit, and we'll get to it. But, in terms of my parents, it's been tumultuous at points, for sure, but I definitely enjoy as I get older, and it's less of a, like, authoritarian, like, submissive relationship.
Yeah, when they have to worry less about discipline.
Yeah.
I found that once I started going to college, and I left the house, my parents and I had a much better relationship, because it wasn't so much we need to instruct you on how to live now. It was more like, okay, you're on your own. We can kind of loosen the reins a bit and let you live your life.
That freedom. Yeah. So I just remember as a kid always feeling like I knew better than my parents, and being really like, alright, I am going to do this thing, and I not only have to plan about doing this thing, I have to figure out how to do this thing and not receive any of the backlash that I would had it been known that I was doing said weed or whatever the hell I was doing. But another example, just getting punished for shit, was like, oh, you guys, like, sometimes it was fair. I did do something like, mean to a kid, or, mean to a kid.
I never did anything wrong ever.
Yeah. I don't know, like, just some stuff I got punished for, like, getting my cell phone taken away, and then, or, like, I told you a story about being in the shower, and my dad coming, for all you viewers, this is a funny story. I would just take long-ass showers when I wake up in the morning, especially in high school. I sucked at getting up, and so I'd be down there in the shower, and I'd just sit in the shower, and typically fall asleep or doze off, and so my showers would stretch into, like, 40-minute periods. And of course, my parents are all getting ready for their respective jobs, and everybody's up, and I wasn't holding anybody up from a shower, but it was kind of like, come on, Caleb, 40 minutes for a shower, are you fucking serious? So my dad would come down, and he'd knock on the door, and he would, before I started locking the door, he would come in, just turn the water cold, fucking blast me awake. So, as you can imagine, I wasn't too pleased about that, so he started locking the door. It stopped for a while, and then he started figuring out how to open the door. You just, poke a hole through get it unlocked, and then come and turn on the cold water. So, after he had done this once or twice, I was like, no, it's not gonna fly. So, I figured, since he didn't respect the lock, I was just gonna take all the locks off the house. So, I took every single doorknob off of every single door in the house. Front door, side doors, garage doors, everything. Anyways, I put them all in my backpack, went to school, and of course I get a phone call at lunch. My dad's gone home at lunch, and the phone call, what? The front door's wide open! What is going on? And I very calmly and coolly say, well, Dad, when you learn to respect the locked door, you can have your locked door privileges back. That didn't go over well, but I hung up to avoid however not well that went over. Let him stew, and anyways, I got home and I put all the doorknobs back on the doors, and then I proceeded to continue to keep taking my long showers, and I was never interfered with again. So,
there you go.
Lessons to be learned.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes the submissive has to be the authoritarian. It's a yin-yang, an ebb and flow. So I was just, fostering balance. That's what I was doing. Number 140. How much time do you usually spend with your family? Fuck. Well, I go over every Friday for supper. Usually it's pizza night, so that's always at least 2 hours. Probably bleeds into like 4 or 6. Like I said, call my mom pretty much daily. That's at least a 10-minute phone call, if not more. So that adds up to, I don't know, 5 days a week. 10 minutes, 50 minutes. Add that, I don't know, probably hit near 10 hours a week. So that's 10 hours weekly times 52 weeks in a year. That's 520 hours, maybe. I'm not strong in math, but as much time as I can. And I enjoy every minute of it, especially now. So, a lot. You?
Unless I've slept in, I have a phone call with two of my brothers on Saturdays before I go to work. So that's usually about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe 3. And then I interact with my parents throughout the week.
Yeah.
I don't have other than the phone call, I don't have like sit down and play games kind of thing or chit chat. Like some nights I'll have a cup of tea and sit with my mom, talk to her while we watch a show, and sometimes my dad and I have chicken wings and hang out.
Nice. My parents are big crib players, so when I was living at home, we'd play a game of crib each night. Usually eat together and cherish those days. Man, I fucking probably sound like an old guy, but I fucking loved living at home and miss a lot of the parts of it. You know, I definitely thought ill of it for a long time, and I think that might be a common thing amongst people to sort of frown on the fact that they are still at home. But I'll tell you now, and you won't hear me till later, but it is a fucking blessing. And when you don't live at home anymore, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's fucking precious time. So make the most of it if you can. And if you can't, well, you'll be even sadder, because I'm sad and I made the most of it. So that's that.
Yeah.
Family. Love them. Number 141. Who in your family do you most enjoy being around, and why?
My brother Jordan, because I can fuck with him. Like, I talked before. Yeah. I talked before about when my brother. I talked before about my brother Jordan when I called him Maurice and pissed him off. Mm-hmm. And it's just I think it's like a playful, like, obviously over the years we had like actual harsh interactions, but my brother and I being the younger siblings and kind of sort of in the same boat there. Mm-hmm. My brother Jordan, it's just fun to tease him and to just poke at him. Like, he and I, we have pretty good interactions, and I can be a lot sillier with him. My other brothers are kind of more reserved, like, so it's not as easy for me to have that relationship. But my brother Jordan's a lot of fun to just dick around with. Like, even when we're playing, so when I have my computer back, we play games on Saturdays. Is usually what it is. Yeah. And so in that game with the dwarves, they're Deep Rock Galactic, my brother and I are constantly like shooting each other and like blowing each other up and just just fucking with each other, while Ryan's are like, come on guys, like, we're almost finished the mission. Like, instead Jordan and I are fucking with each other and just being goofs. It's a lot of fun. It
does sound fun.
He's the brother that I play with the most, you know, like it's and just like teasing him and just doing stupid shit that pisses him off, but you can kind of tell, like, you know, like, it's annoying, but he gets that it comes from a good place of love. So I love hanging out with my brother Jordan.
I would too. That's beautiful. I was just picturing the whole thing and picturing you guys blowing each other up. And
well, and like, because we had, you know, like, he's 6 years older than me, and then my older brother Jeremy is 10 years older than me, so there's 4-year gap between he and Jeremy, and then there's the 6-year gap between Jordan and I. But then of course, like,
Yes.
When you've got that discrepancy. So like he was in middle school when I was in grade school, and we kind of went to the same schools, and we, it was we were kind of, because of the family dynamic, closer just out of not coincidence, but
because of the similarity in the two youngest.
Well, and I'd hang out in my brother's room, and like he'd be playing computer, and I would be reading his books, and he would be like, "Okay, you have to read a chapter of a book to get a turn on my computer." So then I'd read a chapter of a book. We had Animorphs. I would be reading Animorphs, and I was like, "Okay, cool. I read this." And he's like, "Okay, now you got to read 5 chapters." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, I'll never have any time on my computer if you're going by a chapter." So like that was actually, thank you, Jordan. That was a really good way to get me into reading. Too bad that I fell off the horse and didn't get back on again for years. But I would steamroll through Animorph books, just getting turns on this computer.
Trying to get the turn on the computer.
Yeah.
I saw this meme recently, and it's the Animorph when the kid turns into the duck, and it's like when the waiter brings like fresh bread to the table.
That's so wholesome. I love that. I actually really do like wholesome memes. Some of them I find are just like, so I see them on Reddit, so like there's r/wholesome memes.
Yeah.
I find some of them are more just like, this should be and made me smile, because they're not really memes, they're just like happy things.
Yeah.
Which to me makes them not less wholesome, but it's like, that's not a funny meme, that's just your brother's got over his cancer. Like, good job. It's not funny though, bro.
Congratulations. You're not
Congratulations, dick. This is comedy. Balthazar, what are you doing?
Who in your family do I enjoy being around, and why? I want to say my grandma's. And my grams that's in the hospital right now, she's just so perfectly old. Like, kind of that sort of old, slightly questionably, off-colored, but it's just perfect because it's not any of the things that people think it is. It's like it exists apart from the typical standards and notions that some of those behaviors come with. I'm being vague, but you probably all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways.
A different time.
A different time. And so, I do enjoy being around her. This question list is hard for me because singling out, family members, my family is close, and I'm almost like, I can't really thin. If I say my grandma's, well, I still fucking love being around my mom, and I love being around my dad.
Yeah.
Love being around my sister. Love being around my cousins. So, if I'm gonna pick, I guess it would have been Graham or Nanny. Like, Graham obviously has passed. Nanny still with us, but both them definitely. I'll just say Nanny. Love you, Nanny. Get well. So that puts us number 142. Which family member cooks the best food? This one's a little easier. My mom's pizza or my nanny's pork?
I'm gonna say my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was the maker of the food.
Cooking
in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
My family's not a big cooking family. Like, I obviously cook.
Yeah.
But I cook at work. When I go home, it's apples and drinking my eggs. So it's not really, a culinary masterpiece. And then typically if I'm making food, other people don't want to join in because they look at, 10 cloves of garlic and they're like, that's not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah, no. Well, there are periods of time where I'll just sit there and just eat a whole onion. I'll fry it up. I haven't gotten to the point where I can eat a whole raw onion yet.
Yeah.
I do want to attempt to eat a raw onion like an apple. But I'm just not there yet. I should start with... No, I feel like I should just go for it one day and eat an onion.
You'll get there.
I will.
Yeah, I believe in you. For better or for worse, in regards to that, but I do believe in you. I also need to mention my brother-in-law, Pete, because Pete is a wicked chef. He has opened my palate to a number of dishes that I would have maybe never tried, and sometimes never would have tried because I didn't even know that they fucking existed. And so there's been a miss or two. The leeks, Pete, you know what I'm talking about. Fuck you for that. But fuck, you did a keto risotto with cauliflower rice. That thing, I would have demolished the whole bowl if it was just me there, but I had restraint. It was so good. He also made this duck soup once. It was like kind of, to me, I would call it like almost like there was essence of chili, like in the fact that it had beans and there's meat sort of, but it wasn't thick like chili. Anyways, there was a proper name for it. It was some like Italian name or some shit. I don't remember it, but it was fucking good. It was also the first time I had duck, so I found out that I liked duck, and then that soup was also delicious. So, and when it gets cold, it's serves well as a chip dip. So that was, yeah, multifaceted soup. That was.
I was gonna say multifaceted. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Huh. So shout out Pete, your cooking's good. Number 143. What's the most challenging part about spending time away from your family? That I fucking love them and miss them, and I would just be around them even more if I could. My ideal, and this is what I believe that I'll make happen in the future, is that my parents live on the property with us. Like, they'll have their own place, but they'd be on site, and so that would just be awesome because I could just play crib with them each day, and yeah, not fucking beating them at crib. That's the hard part. Really just that I fucking love them and I miss them, so I feel like that should be everybody's answer. I don't know. What's your answer?
Still deciding. I don't, like I said, like, my family's not super close, so for me, like, when I was living in Charlottetown, it's always good to see them.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not like a daily thing, like, oh, I should text my mom, or oh, when am I going to see you next? They'd be like, oh, okay, Thanksgiving's in 3 months. Dope. I don't want to sound cold-hearted, but it's just not, it wasn't ever really something that, like, I didn't get homesick the same way that other people might. Like, I get homesick more now because I actually enjoy being home.
Yeah.
You know? And I do miss my mom a lot more now because she goes up to Fredericton and sees Jeremy and the kids and whatnot. So, Jeremy, Vanessa, and the kids, and you know, I'll be like, okay, so like, when's mom coming back? Because I do like to see my mom, and she is quite a comfort in my life, and we do have good discussions. I do want to drink more tea and watch shows with her, but it's just, you know, when I get home from work so late that it's be like, rolling in at 1 o'clock, like, hey mom, you want to watch for oh, you're asleep because you're a senior citizen, and it's, you know, past the witching hour. Like, witching hour, not for senior citizens.
No.
All that being said, my dad is up and about at just about any time during the night or day. It's kind of rolling the dice with him.
That's true. That night he was taking out the garbage. I was like, how late is your dad up? That was the night I went and got you to come help paint the ceiling.
Yeah, that was like easily
1 or 3.
That was 3 o'clock in the morning easily, if not 4. Like, we were hanging out late that night. But yeah, my dad's just sometimes up.
Respect your schedule, Alan.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, he actually really opened up my eyes a lot to, like, my sleeping schedule, because obviously, like, my schedule is out of whack. And so he told me, he's like, don't worry about not being able to sleep. If you don't feel like sleeping, if you can't get to sleep, get up and do something. Like, don't worry about it. Don't let it stress you out. Just do something. And that's something that I kind of, it depends on the day. Like, sometimes I'll just be like, no, I want sleep. Like, it's more of an emotional need to sleep than it is anything else. But there are days where I'm like, no, all right, it's time to, like, it's not sleep time yet. Or I get into bed and it's like, nope, all right, gotta
Because there's almost like a misconception. Typically, people preach like sleep habits, sleep patterns. Get your this amount of hours, and it really varies for all of us. You know, and I think there's like a general thing that's coming to light where there's a good portion of us that are just not morning people, and that the world needs to kind of encompass that. I know there is.
I struggle because like I love waking up in the morning. I do. I legitimately do. I like when I can wake up. Like if I wake up at 8 and it's like, okay, by like 10 o'clock I've worked out, I've had breakfast, I'm ready for the day, I'm doing stuff. It's like I've already drawn or read a book before noon. It's like, holy cow. But then I find typically then like at night I'll still stay up and do stuff, and then I sleep in the next day. Like it's almost like I want to be a morning person.
Yeah.
But
I think this kind of just goes to what I'm saying is like the rigidity in sleeping schedules doesn't need to be as preached as it is. So it's
more about your quality of sleep and how long you do. There is a study that says that night owls don't live as long as daytime people. At the same time, I would almost argue that that's probably because night owls are probably at a job they hate.
Yeah. And also, fuck these stats, I'm going to live to 100 plus. You watch me, and my sleep schedule does not involve waking up at 6 a.m. I may be up at 6 a.m., but
6 o'clock. I'm sorry, 6 o'clock is too fucking early. 8 o'clock should be like the bar. Like if you want to wake up at 8, that's fine. Yeah. My brother Jeremy has a good saying. He's like, if the sun's not up, you are not late. like I remember being like, aren't you going to be late? And Jeremy was just like, I have a saying that if the sun's up, if the sun's not up, you're not late. Like you shouldn't have to be anywhere before the sun's up. And I honestly like, no, dope. Yeah. Like it can wait. Yeah.
True. Find your rhythm, roll with it, and don't worry about what is suggested. If it works for you, it works for you. And that's what you should do.
That's really annoying me, so I'm gonna...
Number 144. Do you have any siblings? Tell me about them.
No, it's tell me about them?
Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
For viewers who can't see the screen because we've adopted the big screen, there's a question mark at the end of tell me about them, instead of just saying tell me about them. Tell me about them?
Well, my sibling is a sister. She is 3 years younger. There's like a 3.5 or 2.5, however it works. Sometime in the year we're 3 years apart. Sometimes we're 2 years apart, or we're 3 years apart and then 4 years apart. That's one thing that I can tell you about them. Abby, shout out Abby, love you. We're friends. I enjoy her. She's pretty funny. She's just let's say a go-getter's kind of lame. I respect her a lot because of how she lives her life.
She's so nice.
And
I couldn't get over that when we were driving into the airport, and I was like, oh, your sister's actually going to have a conversation? Mm-hmm. Like I was envisioning just like a really quiet ride to the airport. No, your sister's awesome. Just really conversational and engaging and peppy.
Yeah.
Like
enthused. My mom, I would say, gave me pretty good role models, or shaped my expectations of women into something bigger and better than I think would have been had I not known them. They're both strong women. Dating as a man, you just as a woman, you encounter many shades of the opposite sex, and the ones that how they were made me know, like, no, I don't want a girl who just doesn't speak or is shy or this kind of thing. I feel like I'm going to say, how am I going to say this without being a dick, but that's not even what I should say. Basically, people who are shy, I think are... I have to word what I'm about to word. I I think that being able to hold conversation is obviously a skill. I am saying I think that sounds like, of course, that's obviously a skill. So I found that I would encounter more women, and this goes with men too, that seemed kind of unsure themselves, and it was always just a lot of work. I guess this coming from the perspective of somebody who is sure of themselves, so to put up with somebody who's flippant on that definitely was just more of a stress, and kind of like a useless stress to me. It was like, fucking get yourself together, be your person, and fucking just be who you are. Whether it's whatever, like just fucking be. So having those influences, having women like that in my life, let me know that was possible, and thus that's what I looked for and expected out of people. Period. But to know that exists definitely was conducive. So I guess I'm just trying to say thank you to both my mom and my sister for being the women that you are, because it's made me not settle for anything less than that. So that's I do respect the way that both my mom and my sister are as women, as humans, but as women it stands out a little more because of the contrast. And I think that can be trying to be like egalitarian and saying like the flip goes for men too, because obviously there's men you meet that are. So anyways, that's how they helped shape my life, and I'm thankful for it. And my sister's awesome. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
have 3 brothers. The youngest of which is Jordan.
The one you blow up?
Yeah. The one I blow up.
Maurice.
I love it. Oh, it's such a good day. He's 6 years older than me. My brother Jeremy is 10 years, and Ryan is 11 years. Jordan is really into movies and shows. He's got a timeshare in Disneyland in Florida. Nice. He goes there like all the time, which is, I'm really happy for him. He's really like found his niche, and he's got a beautiful wife that he married, as you do with wives. She's a minister, and he works on mobile apps.
Cool.
My brother Jeremy, he's got 4 beautiful children with his lovely wife Vanessa. I love being an uncle. I really do. And to speak kind of about like figures and role models in children's lives, I love being a role model, especially for my oldest nephew Luke. He's such a good kid, and I really like being a figure in his life. It's really, really just so gratifying. And like I said, it's a good dry run for when I have kids. My brother Ryan is a computer programmer. He's pretty friggin' great. My brother Ryan is probably the kindest person you'll ever meet. Nice. And just a wonderful human being. He does what he can to help. He doesn't look to offend anyone. He is just a really, really nice, intelligent dude. Like, I listen to my brother talk sometimes, and I'm like, I'm getting dumber by how smart this conversation is. Like, like my brother is just so insanely smart. It's like, all right, Ryan, like he'll be talking about something, and I'll just be like, all right, cool. This is way above whatever I can comprehend. Like, my brother Ryan plays 3D chess. Not 3D chess, sorry, 3D Tetris.
Yeah.
You want to have it takes some thinking. Like, he's like, oh, do you want to try this? Sure, I'll try this, Ryan. Okay, then. Like, my brother Ryan is just insanely smart. He's really fun to talk to as well. Like, we have a good time when we play games and chat, and he and I have a lot of good discussions too. Like, Jordan will be off in Disneyland, like some kind of guy that goes to Disneyland a lot, and my brother Ryan and I will have topics of conversation. He sent me some videos about artillery the other week, which was pretty cool to check out. I still need to watch the rest of the video, but It's just, my brother Ryan's the kind of guy, if you mention something, if he doesn't know about it, like, tickety-tack-tack, whack-smack, like, he's already Googled it, and he's, like, learning about it, and it's just, my brother Ryan is essentially a walking library.
Beautiful brain.
Yeah, no, absolutely, just, it's a wrinkly, wet brain, is what's in his head, like, it's just tight wrinkles, like, I don't know if, like, at some point he's going to have to stop learning, otherwise he's just going to ascend into a greater being, like, before our eyes.
And just from my knowledge, Jeremy is in Lincoln. Yes. Yeah. Ryan is
in Fredericton.
Fredericton.
And then Jordan is in Ontario somewhere. I think London, maybe? Close to London?
Yes, yeah. I knew one was in Ontario. Now that I'm learning, I'm categorizing the information.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it. Number 145 goes pretty hand in hand with number 144. Are you close with your brothers/sisters? What drives you crazy about them?
Jordan will do this thing
Mm-hmm.
for a number of years now where he will just quote a show or a movie at you and just expect you to know it. And I'll be like, what the hell is that from? And he'll be like, oh, it's from this. I've never seen that. I've never heard of that before. and he just kind of like looks at you like, what, you don't know this super obscure thing or this show that I've watched religiously and you haven't? Like Jordan, what are you doing, man? But that's always a fun time with him. It's like I remember working with him at the diaper factory and just quoted at me and like, we've just got all these machines going on, like all our safety gear, and I just look at him like, what the fuck just fell out of your mouth? Like, what are you saying? Oh no, it's from this show. I haven't watched all of SG-1. Like, I'm sorry.
That's kind of cool you got to work with them. I never even conceived that.
It was a lot more fun than either of us expected because I got a call from the recruiter. I was working at the toilet paper factory and she called me and she's like, there's an opening up at the diaper factory. So I went to my brother Jordan. I was like, are you cool with me working there? He's like, no. And so like my mom was telling my dad, like, if you have to pick them both up on the same day, make sure Jordan waits. Well, then Jordan, before that ever happened, was like, no, it's cool. Like, you can work with me.
Yeah.
And it ended up just being a really ballin' time. Like, I get it because, you know, he's obviously worried about working with his younger brother. I'm a bit of a pistol. Yeah. So, but like we got to work and it was a really good experience. I'm really glad that I got to work with my brother Jordan and get closer with him in that way.
I'm just thinking I've had a couple jobs with some of my friends and having like working with a friend it's just fucking awesome. So you're like, you know, you're getting paid to hang out with your buddy. You're also getting paid for your, you know, whatever you're doing, and
that's basically what I do all week.
That is what you do all week.
Yeah, that's literally what I do.
Why I was clarifying that is because, so for one example, I was working at this old dude's. I think did I tell you the whole chicken sandwich story?
Yeah, with the KFC chicken sandwich.
Yeah. So that was just this like. It was just so fun because I got to work with my friend and we're there and we're both sharing this experience of like, you know, it's abnormal to the regular ebb and flow of our friendship. So that was cool. Another one I worked at MacArthur's. It's a nursery here in town. And one winter the snow it was so heavy it started collapsing some of the greenhouses. So they have a bunch of greenhouses there on site and they grow a bunch of their own products. So anyways, my job for that week and maybe almost a month was just shoveling out these greenhouses so we could get to the wreckage and, you know, salvage what we could and basically make it so that it didn't happen again. And anyways, after week one, they were like, do you have any friends who would come and work for a couple weeks and do, you know, basically help shovel? And so I reached out and my friend Cody, who was in Denmark, now in Finland, he came. And so working with him was just awesome. He like developed this system. So the greenhouses are shaped like domes, right? And so the snow was all the way up. And he would go from one side and just slice the bottom, like dig out the bottom, and then the whole top would just fall. So the other employees saw this and they're like, you need to try Cody's method. Like Cody engineered this like really smart method. So I saw his method, and what I thought was, well, I'm going to go to the top and sit on it while you shovel it all out, and then just ride it down like, I'm surfing.
Yeah.
So, of course, that could only happen with two friends working. So we would do that. Another thing we'd do is, it's probably not as safe as we didn't even like question it at the time, but some of the greenhouses would be collapsed. So as we're digging down, the sun was hitting, so how snow seemed to work, at least it was snow, and then eventually as it got close to the greenhouse it would become ice. And so we'd break through the ice, and where it was touching the greenhouse walls, there was a bunch of water underneath, and it was just ice cold, and we call it glacier water, and we would just drink the water. And so I don't know if the greenhouses had pesticides. That was later something that dawned on us, but by this time we
well, if it was a greenhouse, I wouldn't imagine there'd be many pesticides inside it.
No. Well,
I could be wrong. I'm not a botanist or a horticulturist by any means.
There absolutely would be on the inside. They would use those to, because you get bugs in a greenhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're naturally attracted, and the greenhouses aren't airtight. You wouldn't want a greenhouse airtight anyways, so...
It gets so warm.
Yeah, they get warm, so we would drink the glacier water, and then, anyways, he got fired because, so, of course, we had a manager, and shocker, the manager kind of sucked, so,
a manager that sucks?
What? Unbelievable.
What job have you ever worked where a manager sucked?
I know this is a very unique situation, so please stretch your mind to conceive how this...
it's willing disbelief.
So... Anyways, we were
suspend disbelief,
cracking jokes, and Cody is just going on this tear where he's like mimicking the manager and just like, saying all this funny shit. And so I'm just like gassed, laughing my ass off, and he's going on, and he's in the zone. Like, you don't want to like interrupt, but sure enough, we're facing each other, and who walks down the aisle but the manager? And I'm looking at Cody like trying to say like, he's here, without, like, because if I say he's here, obviously the manager's... Anyways, so the manager just kept getting closer. Cody wasn't picking up my cues, and he was just going on, and the manager heard this whole spiel, all this shit he was saying about him, and he just looks at Cody, and he's like, I think you don't need to come back tomorrow. And, yeah... So it was a blast, and that's why when you said you got to work with your brother, that's where my mind went to just how fucking fun that must have been.
Well, I mean, we didn't do anything crazy because it was a diaper factory, but there was a lot of good, like, hanging out and doing fun things. They didn't need many personnel on our end anyway.
No.
And some days, like, I wouldn't see them because you'd have cleaners that would go around and you basically push a broom for 12 hours. But there were days where, like, the way that one worked is that you would have the carousel would come down and be in these cages.
Okay.
And so the pallets would come up on an elevator, and then you would put the product on the pallets. Then you would open the cage door when it would swing open. The fork would come pick it up. Anyway, doesn't matter. But we'd hang out there and talk while we're like chilling, just like letting the boxes come down. One day it's like three of us hanging out, my brother, myself, and a guy I think named Max. He was pretty dope.
Okay.
He was a funny Frenchman. And there was this other dude from, I want to say personnel search. Anyway, he was this African dude. And we always had a system of like, your box comes down, you do it. Right? So we all picked a box, and you'd stack them as they came down. Well, we weren't getting any boxes. The African dude, however, the carousel was just filling up with boxes, and we were talking because none of them were our boxes. We weren't even paying attention. So this poor man is like trying to stack wildly, and this forklift operator, I think his name was Mike. Fuck you, man! Like, you were just such a dick. But he comes over, he starts screaming at us and everything, like getting mad and. Anyway, but that was a day that, like, it was just like, okay, you guys, one of you needs to go push a broom because there's too many of you doing a job here. It's like, oh, sorry, like, it's our fault that you sent down a bunch of number 4 diaper boxes. Like, we should have been paying more attention, I get it, but just coming over and screaming at us. Anyway, it was a fun job, though. But fuck you, Mike.
Fuck you, Mike.
Well, he was one of those dudes that he'd get mad at us if we went out for smoke breaks.
Yeah.
But then he would go out and just like hang out there with this other like young dude that you could tell like thought he was hot shit because he worked driving a forklift. Like, not to disparage the profession, like it's cool, but you're not a baller.
Yeah.
Like. So I made sure that one time I went out for a smoke break, they were in the little bus stop that was the smoking hut. I just like played a bunch of really shitty ICP music on my phone at full blast, and it like echoed into the bus stop and just filled them with beautiful juggalo horror. And they were just like, "No, it was great. It's like a concert." I was like, "Yeah, dope, man. Enjoy it." Fucking pieces of shit. Like, go lift some pallets, you fucks.
Mike. Forklift drivers.
Yeah. The other dude, there was another forklift driver who was actually super cool, and I was like, I went up to him that same day, and I was like, the day that Mike got all mad at us, and I was like, "What do you want me to do? Like, there's nothing." He's like, "Well, I don't know, man." Like, he's just this really like meek, like just chill dude. Like, I don't know. Like, we can't have all you there, I guess. So just keep doing whatever you want. No, like, thanks, man. Like.
We had forklifts at MacArthur's course, and I eventually took a course, but before that I would just drive them because they're like, can you learn how to do this so you can do this? So yeah, sure. Yeah. And then anyways, we had I never understood this. They paid a lady to come in and tell them what was wrong with how their business was running, like basically where the liabilities were. Yeah, and so anyways, basically we all had to take this forklift training course that the company had to pay for, and so whatever, we did that, and there were some hilarious videos of people, fake getting hurt in warehouses. And
I have to find a German safety video for us to watch afterwards. You just reminded me, but...
So we do that, and anyways, this tale is just going to, one day I was moving some pallets, and I was moving lime. It's a product you put on your lawn and use for various other things. But
lime?
Lime, yeah, lime. It's called lime. It's not actually limes. It's some sort of...
No, for a second I thought you said lye, and I was just like, you put lye on your lawns?
No, not that.
Dangerous, man.
So...
Is this Fight Club?
I lift up this pallet full of lime, and... Clearly one of the bags have been ripped because all this lime just starts pouring out of the bottom of the pallet. So it's pouring out of the pallet, and then something else pours out of the pallet, a fucking gopher. And the gopher just hits the ground, and we both stop. Like, I stopped lifting the machine up, and the gopher's there, and I had my harmonica in my pocket, so I just pulled it out and started playing, and it was like I had him transfixed. And he just listened to the Pied Piper going, and as soon as I stopped, he just looked at me one final glance and then bolted. But it's like he probably wanted to run away right away, and then he heard this beautiful serenade, and then he's just like, "Alright, I'll stay for the show." And then it was done, and he jetted.
Yeah, so he was gone.
Yeah, I just remember that. I've tried it since with different animals I see out in the wild, and it doesn't always work the same way. So
I want to make friends with crows so bad. When I have the opportunity, I will jump on it.
On the crow?
Not on the crow, but... I mean, if we ever get to that level of, like, tickle fight, relationship, like...
It's not...
What's Tony doing? Naked, covered in paint, just having a tickle fight with a crow? Like...
That's Tony.
That's Tony. I gave you a
somehow doing a tour of a compound that we both own. You're just there, and all the guests are horrified. It's just Tony. I guess if I'm gonna answer this question, are you close with your brothers, sisters? What drives you crazy about them? For a while, what drove me crazy about my sister was just how fucking successful and together her life was. I was not at said point myself, and I was more so just concerned about my own standings, and thus I was like, my sister's got it figured out, and I knew what I was aiming for. Check episode, was 18, that last episode, where I go on about my book, and...
No, 18 would have been...
Well...
that was, last night's episode.
Last night's episode, so... Anyways, the whole...
Wait, you talked about your book?
This fucking guy, he was sitting right next to me.
For a long time.
It wasn't that long. I watched it. It was all cohesive and perfect, and I shouldn't have been worried about it.
No.
But, I was talking about how knowing that I wanted to be a writer and then getting comfortable with knowing that I would be a famous writer, and then the period in between where I was not yet the famous writer, and how odd that was, that I was like comfortable in this standing but not yet the standing, and kind of dissociating almost that I was not yet where I was going to be, and having to be looked at with the eyes of others that, you know, saw more just a man kind of almost in limbo, or like failure to launch, and that's not what it was. But yeah, so during those times it's like, fuck, my sister's got it together, like I gotta get it together, but I can't get it together because me getting it together only comes when I actually get it together, and that's not yet. So that drove me crazy, maybe.
Oh, what drove me crazy when I was younger, when I was using the MSN, and my brother Ryan, not only is he like a wonderful person, he's super legalistic.
Yeah. Like
he will not, like he's like pirating things is not his jam. So I was on the MSNs on his computer, and I was like, I want some Inuyasha profile pictures. So like a true criminal, I went and I Googled the image, and I was like, oh dope, Zabuza. So I put him on, and my brother Ryan was like, that's not free to use. That's not that's licensed. Like you could get in trouble for that. And I was like, Ryan, for real? Like no one's gonna know. And he's like, we have to find some. Like he did. Now this is like because he knows how to find these things. He found like fair use Inuyasha profile pictures, which that drove me crazy at the time. I was like, Ryan, I literally just can use a photo. Like it. I didn't have an understanding of copyright really at the time, but at the same time, I kind of knew like, this is okay. I'm not going to get in trouble for using...
You're not making any money off this. I think that's where the...
Well,
obviously coming
in my paranoid delusions, I am important enough sometimes to warrant being, finally examined. I doubt 14-year-old me that was into anime was on anyone's radar for like, what's he got for his MSN profile picture?
Yeah. Nobody's.
Yeah,
but
nobody's radar. I wasn't even on the radar of the people I had on MSN. Are you kidding me?
Even so, to be literal, you do have to make money off it. Like, we are not breaching anything yet unless we were to sell these. And at that point, then your concern would come into play.
Well, I mean, the smuggle hunk, I don't know. Maybe he'd find out about it and... want to be a sponsor.
I think he'd be pretty stoked to know that he was like immortalized as the cover of Smugglers Cove.
Well, and I feel too, and this is kind of a side tangent, so bear with us viewers, but like I feel too with this guy, it's not like we have him as our icon or logo or thumbnail, obviously out of respect. Like this is not a man that either of us would shy away from becoming at his age.
Nope.
Like there's no part of me that goes, ew, I don't want to be a really classy elderly gentleman on a rocking chair smoking a cigar on a porch. Like, no, man, if you can't tell, that's kind of where we're heading anyway. Like, I'm going to have a pipe, but, like, there's nothing mocking about our use of the man.
That is true.
No, I mean, if I knew who he was, fuck, I'd reach out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we did, like, an interview with him?
Dude.
He might be Cuban.
He might be racist. White man on a porch.
That's what I'm saying is I don't know if he's white or not. Well, not really what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is like he looks almost like he could be Cuban. Either way, he's classy as hell.
He is classy, man.
And there's a reason we call him the smuggle hunk. Like, he is the hunk.
There it is. I guess a funny one that I was... So, when we were younger... My sister and I were, like, really good friends up until, I think maybe I was, like, 12, and she would have been 10 or so, and then we just, like, didn't hate each other, but we would, or I would say Abby would kind of, like, tattletale on me a lot, and, like, kind of a bit like the Ryan-esque, like, oh, you can't do that, and I've always been just... some sort of rebel, I guess. It wasn't so much mastermind intentional, but it was, inherent. Anyways, she would go on like try and tell me what to do, and so she would get me in trouble sometimes, but either way she would just yell like "Mom," and so of course, as I am, I always try to figure out how to stop any problems in my life. Take all the doorknobs off the doors, hide all my father's clothes, get my cell phone back, what have you. Anyways, I came up with the nickname Mini Mother. And so when she would go to like rat on me, I'd be like, "Oh, Mini Mother's in the house," something to that effect.
Yeah.
It just grinded her gears in the perfect way to halt said nonsense. So my brother-in-law's children, they're kind of going through a similar thing. And what the fuck are you giggling at?
So I just remember when I was at the academy, and these two dudes were talking about Pokemon.
Yeah.
And they were talking about their attacks, and I was like, "Oh, cool, Pokemon." And they were like, "No, go away, Tony. You're a tattletale. You'll tell on us." I was like, "Fuck you." And I went and told on them for telling me a tattletale.
Just some meta shit.
Just some really stupid bullshit. And I was like, "They're calling me a tattletale. They wouldn't let me talk about Pokemon because they said I was a tattletale." And they were like, "We're just talking about..." Like, they were actually having a very in-depth discussion about Pokemon the game. And, like, I just wanted to be a part of it. But also, like, come on, Josh and Sam. Like, I would have just talked about Pokemon with you. At the same time, I was a dick. I was a really shitty child. But please continue.
That was basically it. Just when she was being a Mini Mother, that drove me crazy. But then I figured out I'd just call her Mini Mother, and that would put a stop to it. It was like almost reverse of what you're saying, like, because they thought you would tattletale, you kind of went, like, the prophecy fulfilled itself.
Well, I was kind of like, "You're going to call me a tattletale." Okay.
So in calling Abby Mini Mother, it was like, because she didn't want to be a Mini Mother,
I really like that
she refused to focus. She refused to be a Mini Mother. So it was like,
called her out on it.
Yeah. So it's kind of ironic how that works.
Yeah.
Anyways, it is a nice trade. Thank you, Ace, and sorry if I fucked your name up. I think it was Laura. Ace and Laura. They were two girls that helped me out at Spencer's finding this tray. I was in there for another tray, and when I held that tray in my hands, I was like, like, it just had all space. Like, it's been a background on my phone at one point in my life. And anyways, the girl's like, "I think we have the Zodiac." Laura said, "I think we have the Zodiac." And so she then handed me this, and I held it, and I was like, "This is the fucking one." So I didn't even know it existed, and it wasn't on display anywhere. It was kind of like in a stack of these trays. So I owe them some stickers too. I didn't have any stickers, but I told them about our podcast, and they looked it up in front of me and said, "Give it a look." So
neat.
Now that we have stickers,
yeah,
we'll,
we have a lot of stickers.
Go in and give them some stickers.
There you go.
Yeah. Number 146. Do you ever wish you had more or fewer siblings?
I always wanted a little brother because I wanted to be a big brother, because I saw that, I was a piece of shit child, but obviously being the youngest, when there's such a disparity, like, or an age gap, you feel a bit isolated. So I always wanted a younger brother, whether that was just to beat up on him or whatever. I always wanted a younger brother, but when your mom has you at 42, you're the last one.
Finality.
Yeah, there's not much else that can be done at that point other than adoption. But
no, sometimes I'd wondered what it would have been like had I had a brother as well. I never wished that I didn't have a sister. And a good, obviously, as I've said, good relationship with my sister. But
yeah, I don't think I was ever like, no, I don't want my brother. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, even though there were times where, like, we were really butting heads. Jordan and I fought a lot. I was just a real dick to Ryan and Jeremy. I don't know how I didn't get my mouth punched in so many times. Like, I just walk up and stomp them in their crotch when they're sitting down, They'd be like, "What are you doing?" And like be really, really patient. Whereas like if the roles had been reversed and I was the older brother, that would have just been a slap. Like that would have been like, "You're not going to do that again at all." But yeah, my brothers were really patient. But I was never like, even with Jordan and I, like going back and forth, there was never any like, "I don't want you as my brother." You know?
Diane has this story. So my wife is the middle child. She has an older brother and a younger brother. And so when she was born as the middle child, as a girl, it was like, oh, like the girl. So it wasn't much of like, you know, the passing of the torch, like, oh, the new younger thing. But then when her baby brother was born, it was like the attention was on him. And so she wasn't so much a fan of that. And one day her parents come home from work and there's a sign in the window that says, "Baby brother for sale, $1."
That's amazing.
They took the sign down.
Yeah.
The brother's still with them.
Good.
Number 147. Who gives the best gifts in your family? Fucking me.
I believe it.
I've gotten good gifts from most of them. My cousin Jen has got me some pretty thoughtful gifts that were very on cue to me. I know that my family has said that it's kind of difficult to get gifts for me. So
see, that's what I find interesting is like, because when I think like, obviously you give me gifts quite a bit. Thank you. But then I'm like, I want to up my gift giving game, not just for your sake, but also, you know, in general. And so obviously like you're a good standpoint because like I'm obviously getting to know like what you like and shit. And I can't see why it would be difficult to understand. Like basically it's like, is it purple? Can he use it?
yeah,
Like very like break it down like, oh, a keychain with a frog on it. Tony has keys and he likes frogs.
yeah. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated.
Yeah, you gotta break it down.
So when people give gift cards, most of the time it just seems like, don't you know the person? I mean, sometimes you give them a gift card in line, blah, blah, blah. From there it is like devil's advocate. But it's like, if you know the person, like my dad, before Christmas, he was getting in trouble because he kept using my mom's big tea mug. And he was like, well, the other ones don't have enough tea.
Yeah.
What did we get him for Christmas? Big ass mug.
Yeah.
He loves it. Not only that, it has like, she doesn't like the feel of terracotta, and it has terracotta on the bottom of it. So it's like, she won't even use it because she would hate the feel of it the whole time. So it's like, it's mom repellent. So even better.
There you go.
You just listen to those, you know. And ironically, you say this purple. So my sister one Christmas got me this, and she didn't fully know what it was, but she's like, well, it was honestly, I just searched up purple in Amazon and just looked around. It's a weed grinder. She thought that I could use it for my tobacco. I think tobacco might shred it too fine, but there it is. I still have this.
Yeah.
I love it. And
Well, if you ever get into weed, you have a grinder. That is a nice grinder too.
it is a nice grinder. It's got the crystal catcher and everything. Cute little like tool to scrape out the crystals, and yeah, it was. Thank you, Abby.
For a fun 100th episode.
We get baked,
Roll a joint.
get high.
It's legal.
It is legal, and we'd finally be fulfilling John's prophecy. Are you smoking? You smoke on the podcast? Eh? I bet you smoke more than cigarettes.
Oh yes, John. Yeah, no, he was really quite adamant that we were smoking one cigarette.
Yeah, he was.
Which I get
There
it.
it is.
It's a hip thing, and people really do get excited about weed. But I'm not a swed kind of guy, you know.
No.
I'm not the like. It's fun, but
Well, if we're gonna smoke weed, I'll fucking rip a popper.
we'll be alone.
I'm fine with that. That's my
Okay.
fucking way of weed delivery method of choice. Or blunt. Would you smoke blunt?
I would rather smoke a joint because I take like 1, 2, 3 sips.
Me too.
Okay, cool. So Well, I mean, that would work out too. Be like, are you done? Yeah, I'm done. Then, I mean, roaches are a thing. We can put it out and then...
Yeah. And then we could have a giveaway.
I was thinking then later on, since our episodes are so fucking long, that we could, you know, do, just, you know, light it again as people do with roaches.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. TBD.
Yeah. We might smoke other things than tobacco.
But thus far, no.
Not meth.
No.
I'm just imagining, like, how downhill it would go, like DMT. We're just like...
Yeah.
And then for 20 minutes, it's just us on the couch making noises. No. Not the setting I wanted to, anyway.
No. Smugglers Cove to Smugglers Cot. Or Shanty.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to think of
it's just gross.
cracky.
Yeah, not really the...
No thanks to those.
Reminds me of a interview, Hot Ones. Action Bronson is on doing the interview, and he's like constantly puffing on his like either a weed vape or just a vape, and it's just kind of like, come on, man, like you're doing an interview. I'm pretty sure it was weed. Like you've got to get high during an interview, like.
Yeah, it's
you
that
know?
way. I mean, when it is suited to your nature, it's just like it's nothing to them. You know?
Yeah, I still just don't like Action Bronson, but I thought it just didn't work out well. Like so this is
Didn't
like
make you like him more. Didn't make you like him more.
No. But that's the thing is like I don't know. It just seems. I don't know a whole bunch about him anyway, but when you see like his music or whatever, it's not like weed centric. Whereas like if we were on an interview show, definitely not Hot Ones. If it was Hot Ones, I'd be really stoked. But anyway, if we were smoking on Hot Ones, it'd be like, oh okay, that's their thing. You know, like it would be like it'd be almost uncharacteristic for us not to be smoking.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
If
like
Snoop Dogg came on and smoked a blunt while I did Hot Ones.
Then that would make complete sense.
Yes.
Whereas this guy's just like, no, I need my weed, bro. Whereas Snoop Dogg's like, for shizzo, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's normal. It's...
Yeah.
There was, I think it was Johnny Knoxville was on there.
He just kept getting kicked in the nuts.
No, he had beer, but, like, they had to, like, disguise it as something or whatever, and he's just like, oh, yeah, my water. Like...
We know.
Yeah.
We know Knoxville.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like it's you know it's not like he's obviously just a guy to me. Like his energy was I just I want to have some beer while I eat some hot wings, like very relaxed. Was like I think Action Bronson even like brought up like I gotta have my weed, bro. Like it had that kind of junky vibe to it.
I'm on board with you now.
Yeah,
you brought me to it. I see the light. Who gives the best gifts in your family, Tony?
See, that's the tricky thing is because my brother Jordan gives very thoughtful gifts. I want to, like, immediately I thought of him, but then I thought, like, no, my brother Ryan really also puts a lot of thought and heart into his gifts. And then my mom also puts a lot of thought and love into the gifts. Trick is, whatever it is, I'm not going to blame anyone. I'm just going to say that the common denominator... It's my brother Ryan. Someone will buy something, and Ryan will buy the exact same thing. Like, my mom will, back in the day, I think it's also partly, like, vague communication. Like, back in the day, my mom would be getting me a bunch of, like, manga drawing books. And she would tell Ryan, oh, I'm getting him manga drawing books. So Ryan would be like, oh, mom's getting him that? I'll get him one. And I would be like, oh, the same one. Thanks. And just, like, have to constantly return Ryan's gifts. Sorry, Ryan. It always broke my heart because Ryan he took that to heart. Like he obviously like would feel bad because he didn't get you. He did a repeat gift.
He could just return your mom's, kept his.
I think it switched off.
Okay.
But then there was one time it was my brother Jeremy's birthday and Jordan told Mom I got him Indiana Jones, like the trilogy.
Yeah.
And Mom told Ryan, oh, he got him Harrison Ford movies. So Ryan said, oh, I'll get him the Indiana Jones box set. So then we show up to the birthday, and it's like Jordan got him the box of the three, and then Ryan had the box set of the 4, and it's like, and Jerry was like, well, I'm going to return Jordan's. Like, Jordan's going to return his. And Jordan was a little annoyed about that, but it's just kind of, it's just like, oh man. I mean, meanwhile, like, I would love to have a box set of only the 3. I don't need to watch the 4th Indiana Jones, but.
Okay. Does the 4th not have Harrison Ford in it?
No, it does, but it's, so you have, okay, so like you have Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, then you have Temple of Doom, then you have The Last Crusade. Temple of Doom really should be the first one, I think, chronologically. Yeah. It is, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's like, if you're going to watch Indiana Jones, like, you really can leave out Temple of Doom. Like, it's a standalone movie on its own.
Okay.
But then they made the Crystal Skull, which was years later, so instead of Nazis, they're fighting Soviets, and they have a Crystal Skull, and it's aliens, but they kind of, spoilers, they like cement into it that it's alien. It just was a really weird feel. Shia LaBeouf is in it, and it's not as good a movie. Like, George Lucas could have just let Indiana Jones have the 3 and be good on it, because the Temple of Doom's fine. I don't mind Temple of Doom, but Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade just have the beautiful, quintessential Indiana Jones energy. I think Temple of Doom is a better introductory film than Raiders of the Lost Ark, because like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like you're in it. You're like, okay, this is Indiana Jones. And then you go to Temple of Doom and you're like, what? Because like the same characters aren't in it. It's not the same, like it's got nothing to do with Nazis.
So it was made last. Yes.
I'm pretty sure Temple of Doom was made first.
Oh, okay.
And then they released Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like it, like I don't know, but it just doesn't fit.
Okay.
It doesn't fit in the middle. It should be at the beginning.
There it is.
Of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen any of them. I just know the scene. He had dysentery, so he like shot the guy or something. And the fight
well, because in Temple of Doom. He actually does do this big sword fight, so they're going to do that again in the Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, in the Last Crusade, and he had dysentery, so like, can I just shoot him? And he did, and it was hilarious. That's okay. We need to watch those sometime, because those
I'm down.
Good movies, man. I think you'd really enjoy Indiana Jones. But yeah, I'm gonna go with my brother Jordan.
Cool.
I'm gonna go with my brother Jordan. He although this last Christmas was kind of. I'm trying to clear out my room and everything. And he's like, what do you want? And I was like, and I was also in my slump. So I was like, I don't really want anything. He's like, fuck you. What do you want? And I was like, I guess I'll take a pop socket from my phone, which, I don't know if you can see this, viewers, but it's a pretty dope pop socket. It's like a moon with...
That is cool,
yeah. Yeah, no, really cool. I didn't know what I was expecting, but Jordan really came through. He also got me a series of books. He got me like a box set, and I was like, this is really cool. I'm trying to not collect things. Also, I'm really depressed, and I don't read as much, but I will get to the series, Jordan. Sorry, buddy.
Well, his pop socket actually inspired another gift. It was a gift from me to me. When I saw you had the pop socket, I was like, oh shit, like I didn't get one for this phone. And I was in Valley Village one day, and I walked by and I saw this space one. And so I was like, oh, that's like kind of cool. I think I've showed you this, and it's weird. I've never seen one that's like this. It's got the hook.
Yeah.
It pops up. But that was, because I saw yours, I was like, oh, I should get that again. You prop your phone up, and like, practicality.
No, it really is, it's handy. Like, I use it, like, if I'm just chilling in here having a smoke, I'll just set it up on the table and, like, smoke while I watch my news show.
Yeah, and do you just normally use it, too, when you're texting, or, like...
Honestly, now that I have the pop socket, it feels weird to use my phone any other way, just because, like, I have it like this, and then I text weird, I text like this.
Okay.
Other people I know can do their thumbs. I do... The thumb is over here, and then this one is more like my dexterity finger. I hold it like a...
I can't say I've seen somebody text like that. Makes sense.
Just like a spider.
That
was just a dumb one. Yeah.
No, like a spider. Number, what are we at? 148? Which holiday did you celebrate most with your family when growing up? Fucking all of them for me. Christmas obviously was a big one, but my mom was very much we did the Easter egg hunt, and Halloween obviously we dressed up. Maybe St. Patty's Day we didn't really do much. The Valentine's Day she'd always get us a little gift.
My mom would give me Valentine's Days and little stuffed animals.
Yeah.
I was a big stuffed animal kid. I loved stuffed animals.
Did you have a favorite?
Stuffed animal?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of cycled through them. It's a frog. There was a mammoth. There was a bat.
Mm-hmm.
There was a penguin. There was a mama skunk and her baby skunk. There was a tiger. I had a lot of stuffed animals.
Yeah, I had two. I had a little dog, and he had flappy ears. I called him Power Puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had this bear that had these kind of like not a bolo tie, but it almost looked like a bow tie undone.
Mm-hmm.
He felt like this couch. It was like that kind of microfiber type
Okay.
thing. Anyways, he had this something in him that would rattle, so you'd shake it. So I called him Noisy. And that was, Noisy
I actually,
Power Puppy.
thinking about favorites, the one that I still sleep with is a pig. I think my mom got it for me in grade 5. It doesn't have a name. I just know it's a girl.
It is. Yeah. Makes sense.
It just exists. Like, it's not something that I even think about. It's just like, it's just like, oh, it's there. And oddly enough, like, I've never had someone comment on it in a negative way. Like, I've had dudes who have been like really manly men, like, come and hang out in my room. No one talks about the pig. The only one that talks about it are the girls. That girls always want to name it. And it's just like, no, I'm not naming the pig. Like, she's sacred.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't need